In today's video, I go over the body lift I installed on my Tacoma.
You did what? You did what?
I know many of you probably think I did the unthinkable, but hear me out. I've got a valid reason. Welcome back to the Tacomaholic channel, everybody. If this is your first time stopping by and you love everything, and I mean everything related to Tacomas, do yourself a favor and definitely do me a favor. Go ahead and subscribe now and make sure you hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I upload a video. And I will dive in just a second going over the body lift, which I'm sure will increase my mall rated status and many of you are frowning upon. But today's video is the second video in my everything you need to do to fit 35s on your Tacoma. If you have not seen that playlist, I will link
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
it right above, so check it out. It's gonna be a wild, fun ride. And as we're going through today's video, ignore the raucous cicada symphony we have going back here. Apparently, I chose a spot right near the hive mother to record today's video, but we'll get through it. All right, guys, so I did mention I did this body lift. It will be part of the fitting 35s video, so that would imply doing a body lift will make it much easier to fit 35s. And yes, that is the case, but don't get me wrong, you do not have to do a body lift to get 35s on your Tacoma. However, it will make it a lot easier when you're talking about hammering out your fender well on the inside, which is specifically why I did mine. Don't have to do it. It's certainly a valid option as long as you don't get crazy. The funny thing is I have had the body lift done for about a month now, so it's almost middle of August, so middle of July, I guess, and I'm a little disappointed because no one noticed it in any previous videos. I did just go with a 1-inch body lift from Toy Tech. I'll put a link in the description below in case you guys want to check it out. It's really not that bad. I want to say 120, maybe 150 bucks, so body lifts are definitely not that expensive. It's the install, if you're paying someone to install them, where you're going to run into the money. But I mean, even paying for a suspension lift to get installed can be expensive anyway, so the difference there is negligible. A body lift lifts the body of the truck, which is everything you see that is orange right here with the spectacularly wild goat armor panels down the side. It will lift the body of the truck, however thick the body lift spacers are, that much off of the frame of your truck. This does not give you any extra ground clearance for avoiding rocks and stuff while you're off-roading, but it does give you a ton more clearance, of course, depending on the size of body lift you go with. When you're talking about your tire rubbing inside here on the metal of your fender well, of course your fenders also, when you're turning, especially when the tire is up there fully stuffed, like off-road when you're sort of off camber. There are a ton of different body lift sizes you can go with. I mentioned I got the 1-inch and it just goes up from there. I think I've seen up to a 6-inch body lift, and I know body lifts have a bad stigma where people think the body of your truck is pretty much on stilts, and in a high-speed collision the top of the truck is going to shear off and just go flying and you're going to die. But with a 1-inch body lift, I don't think I'm in that much of a danger, especially considering everything else I've done to the truck, so I'm willing to take the risk. I know some people probably think it's dumb, but not really when you're considering just a 1-inch body lift. And like I mentioned, I've had this for about a month now. I've had plenty of time to drive around and see what it feels like, and honestly, I could feel it just a little bit maybe that first week, and I would compare it to how the truck felt when I took off my sway bar in the front right here. Just a tiny bit of extra roll around the corners. Obviously, you are raising the center of the gravity by whatever thickness the body lift spacers you are using, but now it feels fine. I drive like an old man anyway. I don't take high-speed turns, anything like that, because when your truck is lifted anyway, regardless of if it's a suspension or a body lift, your center of gravity is raised, it's more likely to roll, so I don't drive like that. If you drive like Mario Andretti, or insert your favorite race car driver here, who's maybe relevant nowadays, yeah, you're probably going to feel it a lot more, but not so much in my case. All right, guys, now to actually show you the body lift, and of course there's some dirt and stuff under here. So here are the new body mount bushings from that kit, and here is the actual body lift. It's literally a spacer. I believe these are polyurethane, of course, with some grade 8 washers and hardware and all that stuff. So for each side of the truck, and of course they do mirror each other for driver and passenger side, you have 6 of those configurations. They are specific for certain locations, so it's not like I could take this one and use it in the bed. But the first one is right there under the radiator support, and coincidentally, This body mount right here is, I think, usually one of the first to go once you start off-roading. So just be aware of that. Maybe check yours to see how nasty and compressed they are. They can actually sag down over time and you will actually rob you of lift, I guess. So there's the first one. Not sure if I'm going to be able to get it, but the second one is right here on top of your cab mount, if that's coming up on camera. And the access for the one for your cab mounts, once you peel this back in the carpet, it's actually below your fake pedal right here. Not going to be able to see the third one coming back from the front, but the access point for that. Again, I'm not running my rear seat, so this was relatively easy. I took out all my stereo stuff, my platform. There's a rubber grommet right here where you can access the top of that body mount, again on the other side as well. And for the bed, it is very simple. You put one of the 1-inch body mount pucks under each of your bed bolts, 3 on each side, and you can see these down here. Now let's see here, if I get my fender line out of the way. You can see the right there is the forwardmost one. Second right there, and of course the last one under the rear bumper. So that is the configuration, just to show you guys in case you were curious. This has been on the truck for about a month now, and I'm fascinated that no one actually noticed. There are a few dead giveaways you can see right here. Again, this is just 1 inch. One of the big tells is right here. Of course, this whole part of the truck is lifted 1 inch, so this little metal piece that connects is shown, of course, by the headlights also. And you can see on my sliders down here, there is now a 1 inch gap. I mean, it's not really that noticeable. The easiest place, I think, and actually when I went off-roading with Joe from Mobtown Off-Road, took him about 3.5 minutes to notice. He asked me if I'd done a body lift because he was looking right here at the tail light. You can see 1 inch gap right there. So in my opinion, that's the biggest eyesore, but it's really not that bad, especially, and this is a spoiler for a future video, since I'm going to be replacing the rear bumper very soon. I did not install the body lift myself. I decided to just pay a professional mechanic to do it. I guess I missed out on doing an install video for you guys, and I read through the instructions. The install, it's not complicated, but it's a bunch of little steps, and it usually takes professionals like 5 or 6 hours anyway, and that's having the truck like on a hydraulic lift, and I just didn't want to deal with that. And honestly, I just didn't have the time. Again, this was about a month ago. I had a ton of things going on. I just thought it was easier, logistically speaking, to just drop the truck off and have it done. 0 complaints. Love how it turned out. And here is the infamous body lift kit in question. Just went with a 1 inch kit. You can see right there, of course, 1 inch is thick. This is the one from Toy Tech. They have a few different options. I'll put a link in the description below in case you guys are interested. Gonna go ahead and have him install the energy suspension polyurethane body mounts, replace all those bushings. This is the complete set. I think that covers everything except for the front radiator bushings, which I do have a separate kit for. I'll show you guys a video for that, but this is extremely beefy. This feels like it weighs like 10 pounds alone just for the hardware, so definitely excited to get this done. This is something that your factory bushings will wear out over time, and good to replace these so everything doesn't start stagging. So super excited to get this installed with the body lift at the same time. And of course, if you guys are thinking about doing this as well, definitely a good time to go ahead and do the bushings because the labor, it's already there. The body lift stuff will actually sit on top of all this, so you might as well. I'll put a link for this in the description below also. But here is the box of all the old body mount bushings. My truck is a 2014, so 6 years old now. I've got about 60,000 miles, and I don't know, they don't look like they're in terrible shape, but this is something that definitely starts to go, especially once you get off there and start wheeling and putting that extra stress on the truck. So this is something with the body mount bushing kits that I no longer have to worry about, so it's just one less thing to deal with down the road. That's done, completed, move on to the next project. And I know some of the higher body lifts, probably with the 2 inch and up, again, mine's just 1 inch, you have to definitely worry about like your fuel lines, ABS lines, all that stuff when you're installing this. On the 2 inch and higher body lifts, for the 1 inch kit, really the only thing you have to be mindful of is your ABS lines, which of course up front up here connect down into the tire right there. When you're installing it, there are certain like plugs and stuff on the inside of the engine bay. If you really just loosen up like 1 or 2 of those and just give it a little more slack, that'll be fine enough, because that's not really going to flex once you loosen it up and give it like that extra inch of travel to accommodate for the body lift. Aside from that, for the 1 inch in particular, nothing really to worry about. Definitely with the higher kits, that's where you get into all kinds of other headaches, and the install is a lot more involved, and of course That's really where you start talking about like body lifts being dangerous. 1-inch kit, not so much. All right, guys, and that will do it for the body lift overview video. I am super curious to see what you guys think. I'm sure a bunch of you will think I made a huge mistake, but I love the way the truck drives right now. It is feeling fine, and it should increase my life expectancy when I actually get to squeezing the 35s under there, hopefully without any rubbing or definitely minimal rubbing at full stuff when I'm off-road. Of course, that video will be coming soon. So go ahead and comment below, let me know what you think, and if you are flirting with the idea of throwing 35s on your truck, if you might now consider doing a 1-inch body lift just to help out with the fitment. As always, thank you so much for supporting the channel by watching this video. Help the channel grow by sharing it with your friends on social media. We just crossed 40,000 subscribers, which I am super pumped about. 50,000 is the next target. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you guys in the next video.